How you doing? Haven't seen you in a few weeks or a few months. I just been taking it easy in the house. We went from summertime to wintertime, so since we didn't have any fall, I didn't shoot anything worthwhile because, well, I just didn't think it'd be worthwhile shooting anything. So, but in between times, what I've been doing is, well, I'll show you. Oh. This here is my vanilla extract I've been working on. Down here is all my vanilla beans. And all this here is the extract, which, you just give her a good shake every so often, move stuff around, get it nice and filtered around. Yeah, that's the brand of vodka I used. It's 1.75 liters. It's not done yet. It's going to sit probably... This will sit until April or May of next year. Now, this little bottle here, this is done. This is nice and ready. Now, if you look kind of close, you'll see a little dark line right there. That's a vanilla bean I stuck in there to give a little extra little oomph into it. But this vanilla is done. This I made this about a year ago. It's been sitting, and well, let's see if you can see those little specks in there floating around. I know they're in there. Let's see if I can give a... There they are. I don't know if you can see it, but I can see it through the camera lens, well, through the bottle, but I'm not sure if y'all can see it. There's a little bit of the bean specks in there. This is done. This is what the wife's been using for making cookies and all kinds of other little odd and end things she's been baking with. Now, the reason why I started doing this is because I was in the grocery store probably about September. Well, September of last year or 2 years ago, one of the two, I can't remember exactly. But she bought a bottle of vanilla. It was like $13 something for a bottle half the size of this. And I was like, you know what? Screw that. I'm going to make my own. So that's what I did. And this is one of probably 12 bottles. Now the other 11 bottles I've given away to people that do cooking and baking, stuff like that, because, well, this is vodka and it's vanilla bean, and that's it. You go to the grocery store and you buy the extract, and it's vodka, vanilla bean, cut with 50% water. This here, you can cook with it, or you can take the cap off and you can drink it. It's up to you, however you want to do it. Now, not too long ago, the wife was making some orange creamsicle fudge, and it required orange extract. And it was up there just like the vanilla, except for it cost a little bit more, and it was a smaller bottle. So I got my Wild Cahoots hairs, and I made a bottle of orange extract. Now, this here is only maybe a month and a half old, and if you take the cap off, which you can't smell it, but I can. Oh man, it smells like oranges. It's close to being done. I mean, technically, they say with the extract it takes 30 to 60 days, and this here, I mean, it's you can smell alcohol a little bit, but that orange is like overpowering, like you wouldn't believe. So this here is technically done. I keep sniffing that all I want. It's a shame I don't drink. But yeah, this here, I'm not sure how good you can see it since the light's against it, but you can see, well, right there you can see the color change. It's not clear. It has that nice hue of orange in it. So, but yeah, this here's pretty much done. But I'm still going to let it sit because I just want to make sure as much of the oils from the skins leach out into the vodka. Just call it the way it is. Now, this other bottle here, I did this for kind of shits and giggles. I just I made it with the vanilla bean. I made it with the orange, and I started this bottle here a couple weeks after I did the orange. And I did it just just because, no special reason. There's my cinnamon sticks. This bottle here probably has 20 to 25 large cinnamon sticks, and the top of them, what this is right here, where my finger is, it's where the very crown top of a few of the sticks are sticking up to. That's about how tall it goes up to, about the top of this water line. And this here, oh man, it smells so good. Oh, it smells like almost like cinnamon. I mean, just like you can't even smell alcohol. Think of think of a liquid honey bun, and that's what it smells like, a liquid honey bun. And it's really good. Of course, I haven't tasted it, but I made this, and it was a little higher up. But I poured about this much. I poured it into a bottle and gave it to somebody else because it was pretty much. This here doesn't take nearly as long as this other stuff does, but yeah, it's a nice red, kind of like a sangria color. It's a really nice color, but this one's done. But I'm still gonna let it sit a little longer. Now, this is what I've been doing off and on, mixing things with, the alcohol with other things to leach out the flavor, to make my own personal extracts, because, why pay for something if you can make it yourself? It doesn't take rocket science. Now, this here, this is my bottle of hot sauce. This is made with my Tabasco peppers behind me, my Serrano peppers behind here, and I have Mexican red chilies in the other room. I have my Thai peppers. This also has yellow habaneros, yellow ghost pepper, red ghost pepper, and a couple Carolina Reapers. And this is a vinegar-based hot sauce. I was gonna do the true grind everything up and put salt into it and just let it ferment that way. And I just didn't feel like doing it because I like Louisiana style hot sauce. I like a vinegar-based hot sauce. So I figured, what the hell, I'll just make it like that, and here she be. And yeah, I mean, of course, this one here I'm gonna give my brother for Christmas because he likes hot sauce, all that crazy stuff. So I figured, this will be his. On top of a couple other little small doodads. But yeah, I mean, that's all I've been doing. I've been sitting inside the house and looking stuff on YouTube, and I'm gonna be doing some 2x10 raised beds. Now one of them is, it's gonna be well, instead of 10-foot long, I'm gonna make a 20-footer. And because those boxes I have out there that I had my plants grown in this past summer, those bigger boxes are 16 feet long. But I'm going to make them a little bit wider, some a little bit more narrow, but about the same width as those other ones, maybe just a tad bit wider. And yeah, I'm going to build some of them and make sure I do it better than what I had this past year. Of course, I did get a late start on a lot of my gardening things, and I was behind time-wise for my tomatoes and all kinds of other stuff. So they produced, but they didn't produce like they should have because I waited too long to get them started. So this year it's going to be a whole different ball game. I have also found online, it's called an Anna White greenhouse. Technically it's the wooden sheds you see all the time look like a mini barn. It has that structure, except for it has clear panels on the top sides, and on of course the very bottom, like 3 to 5 feet up from the ground, it's metal, like tin metal. But that's what I'm looking at doing this year. I might just buy the barn kit without the siding and the roofing, and so that way I can put it together and then get the clear panels, and that way I can have a greenhouse. But the only problem with a lot of my beds in the greenhouse type ordeal is I'm gonna have to get one of the tree cutters I know, and I found one that I'm gonna use. He's already had set price for like per tree, size, everything. There's a past couple of guys I've been trying to get. Their prices jumble. They'll shoot me a price, and well, no, I'm thinking about this. I'll charge this much. No, I'll go back to this price. I don't want that. I want a set price. And the person I found for this coming spring told me $130 a tree, no matter size. Well, as long as it's nothing that's gonna cause him an issue to taking it section down. Most of my trees are straight up, which won't have an issue. There's no danger leans, nothing like that. So $130 a tree is what I'm looking at, and I'm gonna have a bunch of firewood for this coming year, because he's gonna trim the branches and cut them off in sections, and when they fall and hit, that's where they're gonna sit. There's not going to be any, he's not going to have to haul anything off or, cut anything else up, because whatever, limb lies, we're going to make a pile, and it's going to be like a refuge for rabbits and bird and whatever else wants to use it for a refuge. And the extra main parts of the tree, we're going to either cut up in sections, or I'm going to get a maul and a ball peen sledge and put my boys to work to cutting firewood or busting firewood. And then sometime this spring I'm getting the rest of my teethers taken out, so I will be even more than I already am. So, but yeah, that's basically what I've been doing. I've been looking at things online, how to upgrade the garden beds, how to better utilize what I have for my little small area. Trees are coming down, which will open up more sun, which will give me more opportunity for better growing of my blueberries and some of the trees I'm going to get as well. I'm going to redo my goat pen area over here. I've already done it 2 or 3 times, and I do it and I like it, and I start to ponder. I'm like, well, should I do it different? And I am going to do it different this time, and majority of them are going to be in the area that they were in originally, but the only difference is that there's 3 trees pretty much lined up just like this inside the pen, and I'm going to have the tree guy take those down as well. And after he does, I'm going to leave some of the debris there for them to climb on and jump on and everything else, and then I'm going to redo the fencing around it, because I'm going to pull some of the fencing out of the way. And of course, after I redo it, I'm going to get a thinner, like chicken wire almost, and run it halfway across the fence, so that way my little Houdini goat, as I call him, can't slip through the fencing like he's been doing here lately. Of course, by that time he should be growing up a little bit more. He shouldn't fit through there, but be on the safe side, chance, everything else. Plus then too, if I have other beady goats, they won't be doing the same thing he was doing, because off and on for the past few weeks, even before Halloween, he'd run through the fencing, and next thing you know, we got to chase him around the yard and everything else, and usually he runs back through the fencing. So but that's just things we're going to work on. I'm not for sure if I'm going to get a nook or 2 nooks, and I know I'm going to get at least 1. Of course, everybody says you need 2, but I don't think you do. Excuse me, I got indigestion. And if you don't know what a nook is, it's the first stage of a beehive. And I want to get some bees and I've been talking about putting it off and pondering it, wishing I'd done this and done that. And this year I'm just going to hell with it. I'm gonna bite the bullet. I'm gonna get me a nook, start off with some bees, and I'm gonna work my way up into an actual hive. And then if everything goes to plan with that and everything works out the way it should, I'm gonna get me another hive. The reason I'm gonna do that is because, well, back in 2010, 2011, I got chickens, and I got chickens originally for me because I wanted eggs. I wanted fresh eggs. Well, you go to the stores anymore, and plus, you look online about honey and stuff, and 90% of the honey, or 95% of the honey you buy in the grocery store isn't really honey, and it's added with all kinds of added sugars and everything else. And I just miss having I call it a mason jar with a big old chunk of honeycomb sitting into it and honey around it, because that's what I grew up with when I was a kid. When you got honey, there's a big old chunk of comb in it, and if I do fairly well, I don't plan on, if I get it early spring, I should possibly maybe get some honey by September, October, somewhere around there for me. But if I don't, no big deal. I'll let them have it all through the winter, and I'll just keep adding into it until next year. Plus, too, around here, there's all kinds of blackberry. There's goldenrod, which is a weed, Kentucky state flower. There's all kinds of other wild plants like ragweed, stuff like that too. And that way, if I can get the bees to collect all that good excess that causes allergies for all kinds of other people, well, then the honey will work as a kind of like a Benadryl. That way, it'll lower your chances of allergies and everything else, which has been proven on certain form levels, not exactly 100%, but it works. And then too, on top of it, whatever excess wax I get from the hive after I reclaim the honey, I can use that wax, the beeswax, to make the candles that I've been making for other people. And well, I love making candles. I got like 1,000 something wicks in the other room, and a lot of times people I know have a bunch of candles. They'll send them to me, and I'll just remelt them and pour them into something. I'll either give them back a candle, or sometimes I give them for gifts or sell them, and so on, so on, so on. Now, I haven't sold that many candles. I usually give them away, and if I do sell it, I sell. If I got excess containers I got from other people, I'll use that container again. And if I do sell it, I sell it for basically the price of the wick, and it's like 20 to 25 cents per candle, no matter what size it is. It's that's what it is. That's that's the price of the wick. So that's how I do it. And people are like, "Oh, you should charge more money. You should do this. You should do that." Well, I've always been the kind of person, if I get something for free, I give away for free. And if whatever I have invested into it, it's what I charge for it, and that's just the way it goes. And now, most of these extracts down here, there's these things like the vanilla stuff. Pick this up. This bottle here, as is, cost me $17.95 for the vodka. Now, the beans, these are some of the ones I've had before. I made reusing the beans again in the vanilla form. After this is said and done, broken down, I'm looking at probably, I think it's between this right here and the bottles, it's $2.75 per unit. So if I break it down, This right here would be $2.75 for that. Or I can just give it away to people I know that do cooking. Or if they just want a good flavor to get drunk on, well, there you go. There's that too. But yeah, I mean, that's it basically. That's what I've been doing. I need to pick these peppers behind me so I can get them put back in my vat in the other room that I have my vinegar in and a bunch of excess residue from the other peppers. When I say residue, basically when I strained them out and I ground up the peppers and I ran them back through the vinegar again, some of the chunky parts that didn't go through the sifter I saved and I put it in the other vat, and I re-added the vinegar and pickling salt and more peppers to it. So therefore, you know, it's like a complete recycle. But other than that, that's about it really. You know, that's what's going on with me. I might make another one before the end of the year. I don't know. It just depends. But if I do, you'll know. And if I don't, you'll know again. I'll see y'all later.